TBR fans. Welcome to this episode of Talking About Rock. I'm Rob Edwards in Buffalo. My co-host, Jerry Smith in Nashville, is on assignment. But today we have with us, as we always try to do, showcasing local acts around town and around Buffalo itself. So today we have with us Buffalo rockers, Dirty Vernon. Welcome to the show, guys. How's it going?
Doing good.
Thanks, man.
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. You guys have been lighting up the bars in Buffalo, man. I see nothing but gigs from you guys going on. How's it been going in this day and age playing out there? You guys looks like you've been busy.
We're usually always busy. I'm always trying to get a couple gigs a month. When COVID hit, it kind of slowed down a little bit, but it's been picking up, and the crowds have been picking up and wanting to come out and see some live music, so it's been really good.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I get to speak with you a little bit, Jim, at the show, the Appice Brothers show, a little bit when you guys were opening for them with After Effect, and that was a great show. How was that for opening for the Appice Brothers? I mean, the icons of drummers, right?
Definitely. It was an exciting time, and we were very happy to be there.
Yeah, it sounded like a great mix. I mean, you guys sounded really nice on stage, you know. Had a pretty decent crowd. There's a huge venue there. I think that's a newer venue out there that they played at, but it was great to see that. So, you know, and you guys, you know, cover a lot of tunes in your show. One of my favorites you cover, Ace of Spades, Motorhead. Sounds amazing. You know, I've been looking for some nice video. You guys got video of it on your Facebook page, I know, but I was kind of trying to hunt around on YouTube a little bit for it, though. But why don't we go around the horn here, and maybe we'll start with Dan. You can tell us, you know, some of your influences, how you came about with Dirty Vernon, and we'll just go around the horn here, Dan, if you want to start.
All right. Well, I started with the Dirty Vernon in, what was it, Eric? In 2010, something like that.
Yeah, that's what Jeremy and I were talking about. We were trying to get our years correct, but yeah, I think it's 2010.
2010. Yeah. And like I've known Owen for I don't know how many years, and he called me out of the blue one day. I just quit my other band a few months back and said they needed a bass player, and I said, I'll give it a try. So it was a long drive, but I was like, wow, these guys don't fuck around. They know what they're doing. I think I better learn the material.
Right? Yeah, it sounds real hardcore when you guys are playing. It sounds really nice. What influences would you say you have for bass?
Influences, probably John Paul Jones is probably the biggest, believe it or not. God, I can't even name them all. Entwistle, you know, he's great. Chris Squire of Yes, the guy from Tool, you know, there's so many.
Right, yeah. You got this Scott Ian look there going on. I was kind of figuring you're gonna name him in there, you know, but as one of your influences and stuff. Of course.
Absolutely, you betcha.
Awesome. So let's go over to Jim then. How about you, my friend? When did you start this project, and who are some of your influences?
Well, I joined the band, I believe it was 2013. That actually responded to an ad on Craigslist, and my influences mostly are, you know, I was a metal guy coming up. Phil Anselmo, Tom Araya, Rob Halford, Axl Rose, Brian Johnson. The list is endless. Just like Dirty Vernon, you know, we touch base on all those bands. AC/DC, even Zeppelin we're doing, Van Halen. Just things that
I saw some of the Zeppelin stuff there, and you bring up a lot of good points. A lot of these different frontmen from you know, 70s and 80s. And now, who would you say is kind of the go-to guy? There's really not somebody at this point, is there now?
As far
as like a front man, you know, who stands out right now. We really don't kind of have that right now, do we?
No, we don't.
You know,
unfortunately, metal is a little bit of a dying breed, and everybody's doing highs and lows and growls, and you know, the vocal aspect is being somewhat lost. But
yeah, well, rock has always been the black sheep and the underdog, and that's kind of part of the deal anyways, you know. With music that's out right now, okay, that's not really big for people right now. The stuff they're listening to, I don't really get it, but that's what's popular. I know things
Yeah.
come back, music will come back, rock and roll will come back in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for, looking for, waiting for. I know a lot of acts had to shelve a lot of their music and wait out the year before they put out new releases and new albums. Tours have been canceled and, restarted. Stephen Piercy had to stop a couple of shows. He was supposed to show up here, last week. So, we wish him well. But I mean, it happens. And as music changes, things evolve. So we're hoping things get better around all that. So next, let's go to Eric and Owen. How about you guys there?
For me, influences, my big three are always going to be Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, Dimebag Darrell. But also, love stuff like James Hetfield. These guys, the variety of stuff that we're playing have turned me on to a lot more players that I probably might not have enjoyed previously, like say Jimmy Page and all that. Love playing the Zeppelin stuff now. That what was the second part of the question?
Yeah, that's basically it. When did you join the act, or when did you get involved with the guys?
Pretty much what happened. I remember I got back from Arizona, wanted to start a band, had jammed with a bass player and a drummer, and then drummer didn't work out, and then Jeremy came in, and then everyone else shuffled in afterwards.
Yep. So how about you, Jeremy? What would you say are your big influences?
Well, as a younger kid, I grew up listening to a lot of ZZ Top and George Thorogood and shit like that from my dad, cruising around in the truck doing whatever. And then as time went on, I became a metalhead and was, really into the old school classics like Venom and, Maiden and all that type of stuff. And and that kind of set the pace for my drumming.
Gotcha. Yeah, actually, some friends of mine got to meet Venom back in the day when they came to Buffalo. Their bus broke down and they actually got to meet the guys. And they're just average guys like everybody else. They're just a bunch of rockers. They're not a bunch of evil demons out to rule the world, right? But you brought up another point, maybe Jim is. Jim might be over there.
We actually do a couple Venom songs. We haven't done them in a while, but we space on Venom as well. So
nice, yeah. But you brought up some other stuff there, Jeremy. So what do you think about ZZ Top with the new guy that's going to be filling in?
Oh, I didn't hear anything about that. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. So they lost their member there, right? They lost one of their guys right there, right?
I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was just
Dusty Hill passed, and so his guitar tech, who with the blessing supposedly is going to be playing for them now. So they're actually supposed to be coming around Buffalo, I think, next year. So I might have to check that out to see what it's like. But
cool.
Yeah, that might be pretty cool. And Eric, you brought up some awesome things as well. Jimmy Page, amazing guitar player, influenced so many people. His style, his just everything about the man, I think it was a huge influence. And I have to ask you one other question because you brought up Van Halen. I don't know if you guys keep track on the Van Halen news, but I do. So the latest news is David Lee Roth is saying he was the guy that showed Eddie how to put the stripes on his guitar. I don't know if you heard about that. That was in the news lately, that he was saying he was the man behind this Frankenstein stripes, and everybody's like, I don't think so, Dave.
I'm going to say it's probably maybe a little revisionist history, maybe. Being a guitar player and obviously being a, Eddie Van Halen wonk, I looked into all the guitar stuff. I actually recently got one of those Frankenstrats, which everyone should get. They're great. But yeah, I thought the color stuff, because I remember for Van Halen 1, it was the black and white. And then I just thought that he painted the red over it with a couple, stripes on it. And that was it. But I didn't think that David Lee Roth gave him the direction.
Yeah, supposedly the story, I guess, from what I read, is Dave said to him that he wanted Eddie to stand out more. He thought his guitar looked a little too much like a Jimi Hendrix style type of guitar. and he wanted him to do something a little bit different with it. And then he came back with, oh yeah, I had some reflectors also that I got from the junkyard, and he put the reflectors on the back of the guitar to do that.
That
too.
might be true. That
But-
part might be true, because I remember reading actually one of the books I have about the reflectors and all that, and I do believe it said that he said to put it on there so when you turn it around and the spotlight was on, to kind of shoot out different colors.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little hard to believe what Dave says. I mean, he's a great performer, and I love Dave Lee Roth. I love his songs. I love what he does, man. You know, and then he's kind of back and forth. I'm retiring. I'm not retiring. I knew that was just a gag to get people going to see him and stuff, you know. But I kind of don't think he had that much influence over Eddie. But who knows, right? Who knows the true story? Yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny when I heard about that. I'm like, yeah, Dave, I don't know. Everybody loves Eddie and just loves his music, and we're just so happy. You know, the time that we had with him, you know, and now we have Mammoth, right? So it's all new stuff. So speaking of new stuff, you guys going through writing any originals, thinking about coming out with some original music? Can anybody chime in on that?
We don't do any originals at all.
We've been
Never
asked
have.
to do that a lot, though. That is one thing.
We do.
We
A lot of
we
people
have
want
gotten
to do
them.
it.
Yeah, has it been something in the works that you've been thinking about? I know it's really, really tough to do original material. You know, we've talked to a couple of different up and coming bands who are trying it. You know, it's tough. We talked to Naked Gypsy Queens. We talked to Lost Circus. You know, we talked to Tuck and the Restless Hearts. You know, they're all coming out with their original stuff, and that it's tough right now. There's no doubt about it. But I don't know, something to consider, maybe. You know,
We have been asked to do it. I don't know. It's like such a different, for at least a guitar player, like it's such a different mindset, like learning different songs compared to writing your own ones. Cause I mean, you gotta put a lot of stuff into the writing it. And it's like, man, where are you coming from with it? You know, you're not 20 years old anymore. So
right? Oh, definitely.
it was
Yeah.
a little different.
Something to think about. Yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. So, Jim, question for you. How's it been playing the bars in Buffalo, man? You've been meeting the people. I've seen you at a couple different places. What's the feedback like?
Oh, pretty good. We get a lot of good compliments, you know, so every show that we play, we definitely captivate, and, you know, we get a response, and that's all we're really looking for, you know, just with all the different, you know, songs and artists that we cover. We're back and forth. But for the most part, you know, we got some great venues we played. We played the Rapids Theater. We've played Hard Rock Cafe. We've played also Rockin' Buffalo, which is kind of our home away from home, right, guys?
That's
Oh,
right.
definitely.
Yeah, that's one of them, our most favorite place to play. And actually have a gig coming up the first of the year.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, that place definitely packs them in. It's not a real big club, but definitely there's always a good show going on there at Rockin' Buffalo for sure. And I did see the footage when you guys played Hard Rock. I saw some pics from that. That was very cool. Now that's a different type of venue, right? I went and saw Do Driver there a couple was it last month maybe or so, maybe a couple weeks, but very different type of venue. It almost feels like it's like a dinner theater type of thing, but it's a rock club. So I wasn't sure how the crowd was going to handle it when they started jamming, but how was it for you guys?
It was interesting.
Right. Because you're a lot more hardcore than they are, you know?
Yeah, we did some heavy songs, and you know, they're eating, so it's kind of hard to, you know, cheer and, you know, make noise or whatever. So, you know, it's like I was like, I understand you guys are, you know, in the middle of your dinner here, so, you know, just enjoy this song from Megadeth, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Right. And I was surprised when I saw Do Driver there, and the folks, you know, enjoyed the Hard Rock. It was, even though it was more of an intimate setting, you know, it was cool. It was a little different, but it was very cool there. Yeah, definitely.
We actually have to return to Hard Rock Cafe in February, so look for that as well.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I was going through the feed for you guys, man. You got date after date lined up, different clubs going on.
Yeah.
So how did that come about for you guys opening for Appice Brothers? You had to be like, really like kind of surprised, overjoyed, or you're just like, oh yeah, it's cool, man.
It was
That's
very
awesome.
cool. We actually did a show at the Rapids Theater for Jim Crean. It was his birthday, I believe it was. And, he came, checked us out, dug the band, and he's been giving us, a bone here and there. He actually had us at the Soleil Woodlawn Beach, which got rained out, unfortunately.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the backbone of getting us on the Appice Brothers show. So
Jim is just an amazing performer, and he does so much for the bands in Buffalo, you know what I mean? And he's played with so many amazing artists. God, if you guys haven't checked out his stuff out there that are listening to the show, you definitely should check out his CDs and the artists he's played with. I could sit here all night and just name names of people, but you should really check it out. It's some great stuff, and I love his videos. I love seeing him at the show. I got to check him out when he was opening for Three Tremors, and we chatted for a while after that show. And just a great guy. If you guys out there, if you haven't checked him out yet, check out Jim Crean and Hair Nation if you're around this parts. And I'm sure he'll be back with the Appice Brothers, soon when that starts going again. I'm going to be checking them out coming up this Thursday. The Doc and Reunion show is coming to Buffalo. Something I've been waiting for and hoping for. Being an '80s metal boy that I am, couldn't wait to see them guys come back. So it'll be nice to see that show that I've waited for a long, long time. So
Is Lynch playing with them?
Oh yeah, it's the reunion tour, man. It's a real reunion tour. It's George and Don. Yeah, he'll be on stage playing his Mr. Scary guitar and doing the licks. And he's older now, but he's still got the mojo.
That's cool. Oh,
Yeah, so it'll be amazing. With some of the stuff that's got canceled and some of the shows, and it's really difficult nowadays to try to pick and choose. When you go and see bands, it's just it's so expensive to go and see a lot of the shows now. And that's what we talk about here on the show a lot with the rise of the tribute bands. So huge, right? Because people can't afford to pay, $100 to sit in the nosebleeds for whoever, to see a show. So let's go around the horn again here. And Dan, we'll start with you, man. What was the last big show that you went to?
Last big show. Where did we go?
Slayer.
I think we all went somewhere. Was it Darien Lake?
Slayer.
Slayer. Yeah, it was Slayer.
It was Slayer show at Darien Lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably was it. Yeah.
There's a Molly Crew one. Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I caught them. What was it? I caught them 2019 at Legacy of the Beast tour. Yeah, is that the one you shot?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I was super surprised how great Bruce still sounded, and the rest of the band still sounded awesome. I was really happy about it. I took my son. It was his first metal rock concert, that he saw, and it was great. I loved it.
Nice. Yeah, I actually listened to their new album this week for the first time since I got the thing, and
it's not like the old stuff. It's different from the old stuff. If you're kind of real in tune to that, they always they start to change it up a little bit. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's fine. No, it's cool to see him still doing it. Bruce, I got a thing I just DVR'd yesterday on Bruce that I got to watch.
Yeah, he's coming out with he's got his spoken word tour going on. And when I saw that, I wasn't sure how to take it at first, but people are interested.
Yeah. The guy's talented. He's got a lot of different multi-talented. He flies planes, he fences.
I know, right? What metal rock stars flying his own friggin' plane? It's Bruce Dickinson, It's awesome. It's awesome. You can't get cooler than Bruce Dickinson and metal singers flying a plane. I'm sorry. You can't.
Yeah.
So another question I got for you guys, and we'll go around again maybe. The Judas Priest split, right? We got Judas Priest, or an incarnation of it, and KK's Priest. Anybody want to chime in on that? And you got any thoughts along those lines?
Isn't Ripper Owens playing with KK?
So Ripper sings for KK's Priest, correct?
I don't know.
On the fence, huh?
Like, KK's cool, and he's kind of like the only last player now that's like an official Priest player. And Halford, he can still sing, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know, Jim. What are your thoughts, man? What do you?
Band splits are weird. You know what I mean? You don't want to pick a side or a team, but they're all doing the same stuff. So it's kind of like, well, what do you do?
Right.
The more the merrier. Keep doing it. Keep rock alive. That's what I'm saying.
No,
gotcha.
I'm gonna go with Call for Priest. How's that?
Call for Priest, local Priest tribute band.
Peace.
All right, there you go. What about you, Dan? They might have stole your thunder there. What do you think, man? Judas Priest as it is now with Richie Faulkner, who's a great guitar player, no doubt. You know what I mean?
No.
Or KK's Priest with Ripper tearing it up with him.
I don't really have a skin in the game. I love Priest, but I'm not to the point where I even know that they split. I had no idea.
Yeah. So latest news, if you guys don't keep up on the metal news that's going on, right? So you got Rob Halpert and Richie Faulkner. They released the Rapid Fire, and Glenn left for some health reasons, and then KK had left, and then
the show
he didn't know that they were going to be reforming, and he was kind of upset that they didn't call him back. They didn't call KK back to Priest. He kind of was upset about that, and I can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
So he said, you know what? I wrote most of these songs. I was most of Priest besides Rob. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's like, I can do this, and I really like the new KK's Priest songs. I think they're great. I love that he got Ripper singing it. That was the right choice, I think, definitely. I'm not taking anything away from Rob. He's still the metal god. I got to tell you, though, him coming out on stage with the white beard kind of freaks me out a little bit. It doesn't look like the metal god of old, like I remember, but he still belts it out and he still sings amazing. Richie's amazing. And the latest rumor is that Glenn is coming back to the fold. So Glenn Tipton may be coming back to the Priest. So that would be cool. Like you guys were saying, this day and age of, rock is a difficult business. It's hard to keep fans. I think it's a smart move, definitely, to bring him back in the band.
Yeah,
definitely.
Awesome.
They'll probably all come back together sooner or later,
Right. That's what usually happens when they really realize they really need each other, and the agents and the dollar signs say they need each other, right? And that's usually what happens, right? I mean, that's what happened with Guns N' Roses. Yep. That's what happened with Van Halen. That was another big split back in the day, right? The big Van Halen split. If you were in the Dave camp or you're in the Sammy camp.
Oh no Van Hagar. We're not
right.
too big.
I'm with you, Jim. I could not do it for like 10 years. I could not do it. I went to Monsters of Rock and Van Halen came out with Sammy, and I'm like, this is not Van Halen. I have to go. I'm sorry. I was a big Dave fan, and Dave's a performer, a showman, but he's not a musician though. But he's an amazing showman, and I was a big Dave fan. But I grew to love Sammy after a while, and I thought the music was really great with Sammy for sure. At first I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I feel this.
Sure.
5150 was a very good album. But do they still call them albums? I don't know. Release, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, you can call them albums. I call them albums still, definitely.
I call them albums too.
Great cassette, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great album. I remember playing that the whole summer when 5150 came out. That was definitely a great album. And that brings me to another topic now, if you guys want to chime in about. So just music in general. So it's a totally different world now, right? Because we all grew up, I think, well, most of us anyway, some of us are a little bit younger. When you released albums, you waited for that album to come out, they talked about it on the radio and everything, and you were like so hoping, to get that and listen to it. And now it just comes out on a streaming service.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't like go to your friend's house and listen to it, or like, oh, I want to borrow your tape and record it or something like that, or wait for that song to get played on the radio. Yeah. It's just streaming now, and it's totally different world now. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, I missed that.
It's not as fun because you have to discover it. You know what I mean? And if you don't have your friends, or like even back in the day MTV or whatever, I mean, you got to discover new stuff, and it seems like, you know, there's like so much stuff out there now that you don't know how to kind of funnel it and filter it through to find what you want. And then, you know, you're
Right. I agree with you. I go through that same issue because I'm trying to look for new music all the time, and you know, who's the latest stuff out on the different streaming services, you know, what new acts are coming up, what new acts are around the country. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in Nashville. That's a pretty hot spot right now. But then I'm hearing there's a lot of stuff going on in Atlanta. That's a hot spot right now too. Florida's another one. They got that Clash of the Tribute Bands thing going on. So that's another hot area. So things are going on. It's just now it's kind of like dictated to us by the streaming services. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's not like back in the day I would pick up my Circus magazine or my Hit Parader and I would just start, oh, these guys are coming out, cool, I'll check them out, you know, or something like that. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Tough, even especially going out live. It's like, you know, you're really just hearing cover bands now. So, and if you want to hear real live new stuff, you got to seek it out. And some venues don't even want that anymore. So it's tough.
yeah, that's a really, really hard sell. I know it's a hard sell for a lot of places, and especially around Buffalo, right? I'm sure, you know, they want you guys playing covers, you know, they don't, you know, doing the original thing is really, really, really tough, you know, unless you're established or maybe have a name back in it or something like that. But I'm sure, you know, a lot of them. And you said now you guys are adding some new stuff. You're adding some Zeppelin to the show. Or is there other stuff you're thinking about maybe adding in there or going back to or delving into? Or
We actually do a Motorhead tribute as well. We're like 4 bands in one. We have an acoustic, we do a Motorhead tribute, we have a hard rock set, and we have a metal set. So it's very diverse. Whatever we need to cater to the venue, we can do basically anything. We could even have a classic rock set if you'd like. We're over 110 songs, I believe it is, something like that.
Nice.
All covered,
Looking
of
at the
course.
set list right
nice.
now.
So do you get that a lot at the venues when they book you and they say, well, we'd rather have you do this, or do you get that type of thing often?
Really,
Or
you would think, but not really.
so they kind of let you guys kind of have at it and whatever you feel maybe fits it. Obviously, if it's like a biker night, you're going to be playing some metal, right?
Exactly. We like to work our way up. You know, we start with the you know, like a 60s or a 70s tune, and then, you know, you go from there, and you know, we just keep building. It's like walking up the steps, you know. And then the pinnacle of Pantera, usually, you know, we do Walk. That's usually our closing tune. And, you know, if we have anything new, we could you know, do it as an encore, like we did Stinkfist from Tool as an encore the one time, and you know, that went over well. I mean, you know, it's a little out of our realm of what we do, but you know, we're always, you know, trying to add something different, new, diverse.
That's a good way to be. Yeah, you definitely add in some new stuff here and there, because I go and see a lot of bands locally, you know, and if they're still doing the same sets all the time, that's when you're going to start losing your audience, right?
I agree.
You know,
Right.
you gotta mix it up a little bit. You got to add some stuff, maybe drop some stuff that's not really getting a lot of feedback for you. You know, or go into a little bit of a different area that maybe, you know, if you feel like maybe people would be more into or something like that. Definitely, that's the way to do it. You know, I've talked to other bands about the same type of thing.
Yeah.
When we did the Appice show, we definitely tried to do our most, well, you know, what people would recognize the most, you know, what was more like fan favorite songs. So that went over pretty well, though. You know, we got a good response there, and we just look forward to our next practice, our next gig, what songs we're going to work on. We constantly just keep adding. Ain't it, Dan?
Yeah, I'm looking at the set list right now. We are at 116
Woo!
songs.
Plus, we're adding 2 more next practice. And those are.
Yep.
Hush,
Those are-
hush.
You got to go and see the show if you want to see the new tunes, right? So
Right.
you touched on it before a little bit, but Jim, do you want to go through the dates again here with us so folks know where to go and check you out?
Sure. We got January 1st at Rockin' Buffalo Saloon. You know, and then we're gonna, you know, probably take off the rest of January, or if somebody, wants us to do another gig that month. But we're trying to do 1-2 a month right now, until things get, really back to mainstream like it was before COVID. Because we were just packing places and people were coming out and just having a great old time. And now everyone's more leery of, should we go out? Do I got to wear a mask? How much is this, that, and the other thing, But what's the Hard Rock date, guys? 12th?
12.
February 12th?
Yep.
February 12th, we got the Hard Rock, and then February, March, we've got a couple. We got
Do we have another Pearl Street?
Yeah, we got another Pearl Street,
25th.
March 25th. Dan, you must have it all in front of you.
Yeah. Looking at it.
Look at it. Take a look at it.
Nothing else in March that I have. And
I think we have another Ice House pub in March.
Ice House, yeah, that's it.
Is that March or is that?
There's one in June. That's
Four.
the other one.
June.
Oh, we got the Chop Shop in June too.
Oh yeah, we got the Chop Shop. That'll be fun. That's close
sure
to you guys.
Yeah, I know.
That's like right down the street from Eric and Jeremy. So should be a good showing there. We'll probably do a lot of hard rock, I would think. Couple metal at the end, right, boys? Sound about right?
Perfect.
All right.
Cool. We hope to see you out there some more. We know you guys are always busy playing gigs, and that's great. We appreciate you keeping the torch alive and keeping Buffalo rocking. Keep doing what you're doing. We know the people are liking it. We appreciate it. If they want to check out you guys, where's the best they can check you out on Facebook, or how they go about doing that?
Pretty much Facebook. That's really our big social media presence. I don't know. We never really dove into the Instagram or Twitter stuff. A lot of stuff's kind of word of mouth, kind of old school. So
Yeah.
come see a show. Like, the thing is, we always want to play shows with other bands and what have you. So we'll just hop on their gig and get fans that way. So usually just Facebook or shows.
Mhm.
Or Jim. Jim's the socialite of the band. He's usually out about.
Talking to the people there. That's the way to do it, man. Networking and making the connections. That's the way to do it, man. That's what it's all about. Well, great, man. We look forward to seeing you guys out there some more. Check these guys out on Facebook. And if you guys want to hear more from us, you have comments or feedback, please feel free to email us at talkingaboutrock@gmail.com. You can check us out on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter. And also, please check us out on YouTube for this video and other up-and-coming interviews. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure. We hope to see you out there soon.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
guys,
you,
have a good night.
Us, we appreciate it.